Prediction season is officially here. These are my game-by-game predictions for the Texas A&M Aggies in the 2024 college football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications. Check us out via podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. We're brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com and use promo code SECU at sign up to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 or more lineup. That's prizepicks.com, promo code SECU to get your $50 bonus today. Year one of the Mike Elko era is just around the corner, and these are my game-by-game predictions for the Texas A&M Aggies in the 2024 college football season as we pull up Texas A&M's schedule and each of my selections. And we will start in the season opener as things get going with a bang in College Station. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish will come to Kyle Field, a night game under the lights. College game day is in town. You talk about hype, anticipation, excitement. Game one of Mike Elko. Oh, by the way, Riley Leonard, the starting quarterback for Notre Dame, who was playing for Mike Elko this time last year. Guys, I think things are going to be vastly different under Mike Elko. That goes without saying, guys. It's just the antithesis of Jimbo Fisher. There's no comparison, right? This is going to be a more disciplined football team. This is not your typical year one. There's a lot of talent on this roster. Hey, there's a reason the over-under is set at 8.5 in Vegas. But what you are going to notice here, I am in show-me mode when it comes to Texas A&M. I know you got talent. I know Connor Wegman returns. I know the wide receiver room's got bodies. I know the offensive line should be better. I know you got freaks on the defensive line. I know Torian York's one of the best linebackers in the country. I know the secondary is going to make positive strides. I know you added 25 new guys in the portal. I know all that. I get it. But asking me to go out there and pick A&M to go 9-3 or 10-2, that is putting my hand right back on the burner after I got burned a season ago and the season before and the season before and the season before. And I get it's a new era, but year one of a new head coach, you're going to notice a trend. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs and there's going to be inconsistencies, and there always are when you're talking about a new coach, implementing new systems, new terminology, new culture. Believe it or not, guys, not everybody on your favorite team is thrilled the last guy is gone. I know that's not as prevalent anymore with the transfer portal. Guys can up and leave, but changing the culture doesn't happen overnight. With that being said, getting back into game one, I've gone back and forth in this game, guys. Being at Kyle Field is a huge advantage. That said, I am going with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is a really high-quality football team this year. I think they're a realistic college football playoff contender. I love the pieces they added with Riley Leonard, the most notable at quarterback. And I just think for A&M, man, listen, very talented. It is asking a lot of Texas A&M to go out there week one of a brand new head coach and beat the caliber of football team that Notre Dame is going to be this season. Thrilling game. I think it's going to be a hell of a showdown. I really do. A tight ball game. One possession game either way. Wouldn't shock me in the slightest if Texas A&M wins this game. But I think it's asking a little much in week one of a new regime. Close loss. I think there's encouraging signs. But I think Notre Dame goes into Kyle Field and ekes out a really, really close victory. One possession game either way. You bounce back the following weekend, non-conference play yet again, but this time the McNeese Cowboys come to town. You'll get a big win there. Texas A&M will dominate, go up and down the field, get themselves ready for SEC play. The Notre Dame loss will be disappointing, but it won't be demoralizing, guys, right? It's not even a conference game. You kick off conference play, in the Swamp against the Florida Gators. Huge game for both sides. I mean, massive. I think you could argue, I know for Florida, maybe that Miami game in week 1, but this is one of the most important games for both of these teams. Afternoon kick there in the Swamp, going to be a good environment. I actually think Texas A&M goes on the road here and gets the dub. I do. I think they beat Florida in the Swamp. I don't trust Florida either. I don't trust the Gators either. And I think they're going to be improved, but I think this is where we see Mike Elko's defense really start to sink their teeth in. I think Connor Wegman has a big day. I think Florida's probably still got some question marks defensively. They need to answer some things they need to figure out. Tight ball game, back and forth. I got Texas A&M starting 1-0 in SEC play, getting a really, really big win over the Florida Gators. And I think one of those early season boosts for Mike Elko, right? You're going to be looking for things to build confidence and get the ball rolling, especially if you're going to try to get to that 8 or 9 win mark. That's a big one that you need to have. It'll be tough in the Swamp. Florida going to be improved, but I do think you see Texas A&M battle through, find a way, start 1-0 in SEC play. The following week, you go back out of conference, take on Bowling Green. That's going to be a big win. Not concerned about that at all. Then you've got the Southwest Classic against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And guys, death, taxes, and Texas A&M beating Arkansas in Arlington. I mean, do we really need to say more at this point? I think Arkansas is going to be improved this year, guys. I think Arkansas is going to a bowl game. Even with that, I don't think they're beating A&M. I don't know that it matters who the coach is in Aggie land. I really don't. I don't know if it matters who the coach is in Arkansas. Texas A&M beating Arkansas is about as commonplace as toe meeting leather, right? I mean, it happens. It happens every single year, time and time again. What are they, 9-1 in the last 10? I think Texas A&M takes care of business, beats Arkansas. I don't think the Hogs will have quite enough. I think line of scrimmage play big in this one again. I think Connor Wegman, assuming he stays healthy, which I think he will, I think he's going to continue to prove to people he's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. Top 5 quarterback in the SEC. I really do believe that. So I think they get a big win there. It's just A&M always beats Arkansas. Why would this year be any different? Then the following week, this is the big one right here, guys. Missouri coming to Kyle Field. Hate that it's a noon game. That if this was a night game, maybe it goes the other way. I think Missouri is going to be really, really good. Now, will Texas A&M have the pieces defensively, or will they have the type of performance? I think they have the pieces. Will they have the performance if they can shut down Missouri's offense, get Brady Cook in some uncomfortable situations? Listen, Missouri's a team. Have they solved their defensive woes yet? And they've got a really soft schedule to open up. So this right here for Missouri, this might be kind of, it could serve as a rude awakening for the Missouri Tigers. Like, hey, you've been picking on the little guys. Come pick on somebody of your own size. I don't see it. I do think Missouri comes in, gets the road victory again. I think the theme of this season for A&M, guys, is going to be inconsistency. That's what I think. I think it's going to be inconsistency. I think when A&M is at their best, I think they're going to be able to jump up and beat anybody in the country. But they're not always going to be that. And I just think, again, with a lot of moving pieces, with a brand new coaching staff, brand new head coach, I know things are different. And I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, man, it's just new head coach and you got all the talent. It's just going to automatically click and fix overnight. I just can't buy that right now. And I'll even be totally honest with you and transparent that I'm admittedly being a little more conservative with my predictions for A&M because of what's happened in the past. Can you really blame me is my question. So again, all that to say too, Missouri's a really good football team. And I think that, A&M, I see them battling everyone they play, but I think Mizzou taking on the road warrior mentality, noon kick at Kyle at 11 a.m. local time. I think Mizzou comes in and they do get the W and hand Texas A&M their first loss in conference play. The following week, guys, you do have a bye week on October the 12th before you take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs at Davis Wade. Listen, I don't think State's going to be very good this year. But do not sleep on Mississippi State. Do not go into that game screwing around, afternoon or night game kick. Cowbells will be ringing. A&M fans, y'all know this at this point. I'm just saying, I'm picking Texas A&M to go in there and win. And I think it'll be a very underrated win, but I'm just saying, trap game of the century right here on October the 19th. But you get the win. I think A&M gets the win. Then Saturday, October the 26th rolls around. LSU comes to Kyle Field. And I know, LSU doesn't win at Kyle Field. I get it. I understand that. But I got them winning at Kyle Field this year. I think the LSU Tigers, listen, I think LSU, I think they're going to be a good team this year. They've got questions too, right? Can their defense stop anybody? Interior defensive line's a problem. Garrett Nussmeier, can he be consistent, right? Offensively, they've got weapons. The offense is going to be pretty darn good. Is the defense going to take any type of step forward? I think this is going to be a shootout. I really do. I think this is going to be a shootout. I know Mike Elko's never fielded a bad defense, but I'm just saying, they're going to give up some points. Year one of his defense, they're going to give up some points. High-scoring game, probably a one-possession game. I know they haven't done it, but I think LSU right now, even as talented as A&M is, LSU's got a little more. I think LSU in a better position to win this one on the road. Coin flip game, guys. This game could go either way. You tell me Texas A&M wins this game, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But by this point in the season, I do think LSU as well will have found some answers defensively. I think they'll have found some answers defensively. I think they're going to be a little bit better on defense by this point in the season than maybe we even think. Offensively, they'll be clicking. And again, I think Texas A&M, just inconsistencies. I think they're going to be up and down and up and down. And they're going to be down this week. And I think they fall to the LSU Tigers at home, which never happens. I'm going out on a limb, but I think it happens this year. Then the following week, like I mentioned, the inconsistencies. Here's the thing, guys. At South Carolina. You recall what happened the last time the Aggies went to Williams-Brice Stadium. 2022, night game, chaos, madhouse. That's exactly what Texas A&M is walking back into. It's a night game guaranteed. And South Carolina, they're not going to be world beaters. I think they go 5-7. But South Carolina is good for one of these games every single year where they just play out of their rear ends, pull a big upset. They put it all together for one game, and I'm sorry, Texas A&M, but I think that one game is you. Again, under the lights, sandstorm will be rolling, lower scoring game, I think, in this one. I think it's a lower scoring game, but I think South Carolina has one of their best performances. It'll be somewhat of an upset, but again, like I said, guys, expect inconsistency. Expect inconsistency. It's going to be a little bit up and down in year one of Mike Elko. That's okay, but you have to expect it. I think the Gamecocks pull the upset. I think Texas A&M drops back-to-back SEC games in the bye week on November the 9th. It can't come at a better time. There'll be some soul-searching done. There'll be a lot of chatter about changes being made, adjustments, whatever. You come out of the bye week, November the 16th, I think Texas A&M, this ain't going to be Auburn 2.0. New Mexico State, their entire crew went to Vandy, it seems. They're not the same team. I think A&M will take care of their business. Speaking of the Auburn Tigers, that following week, guys, the schedule. I mean, listen, the schedule's manageable, but there's some really, really, really daunting road games down here down the stretch. At South Carolina, like I mentioned at night, now you got to go to Jordan-Hare the second to last week of the season. Afternoon or night game kick. This late in the year, it's going to be a night game no matter what. I think Auburn is going to be another one of those up and down teams, inconsistent teams. And I know, I don't trust Peyton Thorne. I really don't. That being said, I think Auburn finds a way in this one. I do. I think Auburn riding Jarquez Hunter. This is one I'm going out on a bit of a limb, but I like Auburn at home, man. Weird things happen at Jordan-Hare, man. Weird things happen at Jordan-Hare. I do think Peyton Thorne's going to be better this year under Hugh Freeze. I think the wide receiver room, nobody upgraded their skill position players more than Auburn, and they're much saltier on defense than I think people even realize. Great game, back and forth game. I think Auburn, though, gets the win. Texas A&M is licking its wounds. what would that be? 3 straight SEC losses. 6-5. 3-4 in conference play. Going into the final weekend of the season. And here come the Texas Longhorns. The hottest ticket in college football this year. Maybe the craziest environment of them all. You talk about just pure hatred. I wasn't, this game hadn't been played in over 10 years. I wasn't as familiar with like the hatred of this rivalry. But after the Jim Schlossnagle stuff and some of the other things that I've seen, it's pure hate. I mean, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be hateful. It's going to be, that stadium is going, there's not going to be an energy like the energy you're going to feel in that stadium during that game. And so here comes Texas A&M. Losers of 3 straight in SEC play. Like I mentioned, I think they're going to be inconsistent. They're going to be up and down. At their worst, it's going to be rough. But I think at their best, Texas A&M can jump up and bite anybody. And I think that is the case in this season finale, guys. I think Texas rolls into College Station 11-0. And A&M, under Mike Elko, searching for that signature win in year 1, says, you know what? Let's play spoiler. Let's have ourselves a night. And I think Texas A&M combined with that hellacious pass rush, frenzied crowd, forces Quinn Ewers and the Texas offense into some uncharacteristic mistakes. And guys, rivalry weekend, throw all the records out the window. Forget it. Forget record stats, all that. Expect the unexpected. And I think Texas A&M pulls the shocker to put the ultimate feather in the cap for year 1 of Mike Elko, takes down Texas, and finishes the season 7-5 overall and 4-4 in conference play. Now, guys, do I think A&M is capable of more? I do. There's absolutely a path on this schedule to 9 wins. Absolutely there is. But as I said earlier, guys, I refuse to pick it until I see a reason. I just do. You can love that. You can hate that. Listen, I got nothing against the 12th man. Quite the opposite. But until we see that level of consistency, until we actually see on the field that things are different, because everything that's been said to this point, been done by Mike Elko, by Texas A&M, great, awesome. Show me. Prove it. So, I've got 7-5, 4-4 in conference for the Aggies. Guys, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How do you think Texas A&M will fare in the 2024 college football season? Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications. Check us out via podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms as well as our website, SECUnfiltered.com. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.